Hi, it's 2016 and the big sports story of the year is the Chicago Cubs break their 108-year drought of not winning a World Series. And if there's ever a sport that believes in superstition, it's baseball, and more importantly, it's the Cubs. So I think when you think back on the Cubs for a moment, in 1945 in Game 4 of the World Series, when the Billy Goat Tavern owner brings his goat Murphy, and the fans and the people there say there's some kind of an odor with the goat, so they ask the owner if he'd take his goat and leave, and as he leaves, he turns around and curses the Cubs saying they ain't going to win anymore, and it seems like they don't win anymore. And then sure enough, in 1969, with this great Cub team, they're playing the Mets in the playoffs, and a black cat gets onto the field, runs in front of the Cubs bench, stops for a moment, looks at the Cubs, runs off, and that seems to curse the Cubs. Then in 1984, the Cubs are playing the Padres, the ball goes through Leon Durham's legs at first base, and then that seems to be the curse for the Cubs. And of course in 2003, Steve Bartman has a ball come over to him in the left field stands, and sure enough, as the ball gets tipped and Moises Alou doesn't make the catch, they say that's the reason for the curse. Well, I think the reverse for the curse is based on one person, and that one person is actually Terry Francona. Now here's why I say that. In 2004, Terry Francona was the World Series manager for a team that knows about a curse, which was the Red Sox, with an 86-year drought that gets canceled because they traded Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the Yankees, and that was the curse of the Bambino. Well, sure enough, in a very odd move by Terry Francona, he does something where he hexes a Cub pitcher, and I think that was the moment of the reverse of the curse. And here's where I want to show you. There's two things that are coming up in the third inning that I think are big. So I'll grab the camera as I usually do, and let me show you the first one. The first one here is where Jason Hayward makes this catch right here. And notice this is going to be in the right field stands, almost identical to where Bartman was in the left field stands. And he makes the grab. That's number one. All right, but I don't think that's the real one. I think this one is more of the one right here. Where here's David Ross, he makes an out, and John Lester comes up. Now watch this sequence right here that's really unique that you don't see from a manager. There's Terry Francona.
He'll be ready early. I said, well, how early is early? Like end of the sixth? He said, no.
Now a couple of interesting things happen right here in the third inning.
Who knows if that comes to pass? But between Allen, Shaw, and Andrew Miller, who...
Number one, as this goes off, you'll see that the Indians are leading the Cubs 3-1, 3-1. It's the third inning. Cleveland's winning 1-0, and they're talking about Terry Francona, 9-4 record in potential clinching games. And now this is interesting. His former winning pitcher in the 2007 World Series is John Lester, and look what happens.
Is available tonight.
Lester gets strike one.
Will be seen out of the bullpen as the Indians try to end it here in Chicago.
Yeah, make no mistake, even Terry Francona when talking.
We're talking about the Indians winning in Chicago. Strike two.
Can't do this in the regular season. Everyone's getting all excited. All people who think this is the way you manage games in the regular season.
And the announcers don't say a thing about this. But I think this is the single moment of the reverse of the curse. Strike three, looking, and watch right here.
5 strikeouts for Trevor Bauer.
Here's the moment. He hexes him. And as he hexes him, that's the moment right there. That's the difference. So here's my thought. My thought is you can let me know. Is it just the Cubs played great baseball, which they did? Is it just luck? Or is it the hex, or the reverse of the curse, as I think it might be? Let me know.